I tell people it's not about agreeing, but just trying to understand. And when you get that, that heals a lot of wounds. Because everybody's not going to understand. If you've never had something happen to you, you're not going to understand exactly, but you can try to say, how can I help? What can I do to better your life? What can I do to get closer to understanding? Because you know what I mean? That's all it is. I tell people, which I'm going to tell them up there, with me being a teacher and a trainer and a coach. I never got mad at one kid for not understanding a concept in the classroom. Never got frustrated with one kid not understanding a concept I taught them on the field. The frustration comes from when they say, I can't do it. It's too hard. I don't want to learn. Can we do something else? That's what I want. Just try. If you try and you don't get it, we'll come back and try again until we get better. But when you just say, nah, that ain't for me, that's what leads to people. And that's where I think the back and forth goes is you're not even trying to understand what I'm telling you. That this has happened to me. I didn't make this up. This happened to me.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. Being up here to speak is huge for me. I think I'm in a blessed position not to only be on this stage, but how I grew up. From how my mom and dad who were here, what they taught me from a young kid, to when I grew up, being an athlete and a teacher. I taught for 5 years, and I figured out very soon, no matter if the kid's black, white, Hispanic, you treat them the same. You care for them the same. You don't know who's going to be the next president, who's going to be the next police officer, who's going to be the next. I played at the University of Kansas. We had kids from the middle of nowhere, Kansas. Everybody knows we make jokes about the Wizard of Oz. But when you play on a sports team, you understand. Doesn't matter what the guy looks like next to you. Doesn't matter where they're from. We got one goal, and that's to win this game and win a championship. I know guys that were from complete polar opposites of the world. And when we lined up, we had one goal, and that was to win. And I think that's where we're missing right now. We all say we have one goal, but we don't, because when you have one goal, you win. And the teams that win weren't the best teams that I played on. The team that actually was the best when I was at the University of Kansas, we lost the most games because we weren't there for one goal. Everybody wanted to go to the NFL. This person had this one, I'm transferring. But the teams that said, you know what, we're going to do this together, we won. And that was throughout life. So I say that to say it's about understanding each other. And not understanding everything about each other, but trying to understand. Going back to being a teacher and a coach, I never have been frustrated with a kid that didn't understand the thing that I was telling them on the field or in the classroom. I only became frustrated when they said, Coach, that's too much, I can't do it. Just stop. If you try, your coach, your friends, your family, they're gonna try as long as you're ready, right? But as soon as you say it's too much, that's when the frustration kicks in. That's when the other side gets angry. As long as you're trying, the other person across from you should be willing to try. So that's what I'm challenging everybody today, is not to understand what it's like to be from California, Chicago, Detroit, but sit down and listen. When you come to the table and your kid comes home and you ask them how was school, you're trying to listen to see what was wrong with their day. You don't come on with rebuttals of saying, well, when I was in school, or this kid at school. No, you want to listen so you can help your kid get better than the next day and reach their goals and dreams. And that's what I challenge us to do as a community, as a people. Come to the table to say, how can I help you? What can I do better to help you? And could you help me in this way? Instead of saying, well, I think, no, don't come. Listen, formulate your own information from what you're hearing, and let's have open dialogue. Don't come with 5 rebuttals and you haven't even heard me say a word. I think that's where we start out at, is the ability to sit down and listen and try to understand. Understanding or trying to understand doesn't mean we all agree. And that's the best thing about where we live. You don't have to all agree. And if we all agree, I promise you, the world wouldn't be as beautiful as it is today, because we wouldn't be free thinkers. But try to understand where the person that doesn't come from the place you come from is coming from. That doesn't look like you. Understand that it's all right to disagree, but I don't think it's all right to not give effort to try to understand. And then accountability. Back to sports. You have a job as the DB. You have a job as the linebacker. Only thing coach is asking you to do is your job. And if you do your job, when we watch film the next day, we all get grades. Sir, you made a 90 today, you made a 60. Yes, we lost, but you did your job. Accountability, and what I'll end with is literally, does it take something like this for us to come together as a community? Or can the community come together because we're happy, because we enjoy each other's presence? I don't think it should take anything in a negative light for something positive to happen. Positivity should be positive just because we want to be positive, right? So with me ending, what are you going to do when you leave here? Are you going to go home and say, yes, we had an amazing protest rally, we prayed together, and the next time we hear a family member or a friend, whoever it is, say something that we don't believe is right, do something we don't believe is right, if we see somebody hurting, are you going to say something? Or are we just coming here to show our face? Hey, I was at the rally. Y'all know I support. No, I want to see you support. I want to hear you support. I don't want to assume, I want to know, right? And that's what I want to say. Emotion only goes so long. On senior day, the team that senior day it is the emotional team. They're happy. We're going to do it for the seniors. But the team that's actually the stronger team wins every time. You might hit them in the mouth for the first quarter, but eventually the emotion wears off, and the better team that practiced more love, spent more time caring, pulls it out in the end. So that's what I want to say. Let's practice more before this happens. Don't practice on the reactive end. Let's be proactive, preaching love and showing love. And like I said, I want to hold everybody accountable here. That's really for change. And I look forward to being with Mayor Penn and many others on stage, off the stage after today. Because it doesn't end here. Because if we stop here, we'll be back here again saying the same speeches.